Ее цель – мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции. Ее цель – защита людей, которые на протяжении 8 лет подвергаются издевательствам, геноциду со стороны киевского режима.
Welcome to Muslim Apologetics Australia. We are seeing a prophecy being fulfilled here. This is clearly moving towards the prophecy, and it is absolutely remarkable. I'll narrate you the hadith regarding the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and we will explain to you why this is looking towards a true prophecy. It says in Sunnah al-Tirmidhi, the truce and a joint Roman-Muslim campaign against a common enemy, followed by al-Malhama al-Kubra, Armageddon, a Roman versus Muslim war. Now, according to many other hadiths, it will say there will be certain signs which will lead to this holy war. There will be a holy war against the Muslims and the Crusaders. We know that it will go all the way up to Constantinople. There will be a second invasion, and the Muslims will have a faction of the West, who will join in coalition with the Muslims to fight against the West. Many people in the past, different scholars, different Muslim thinkers, they proposed different countries that will join the Muslims in this coalition. Some suggested it will be Germany. Some suggested, it might be some of the countries in the Balkans. But overwhelming majority has pointed towards Russia, that the Russians will be the party who will join the Muslim campaign against a common enemy. There was a lot of Muslims who questioned this and said, why would Russia join the Muslims? And this is why they will join the Muslims. As you know, the war has now started between Ukraine and Russia. Russia has always been seen as the traitor, as the enemy. No doubt. Has Germany ever been seen this? No. That was long ago. That was during Hitler's time. Now they're pretty much allied. I mean, there were even German troops fighting in Iraq, in Syria. Sorry. So it's not the Germans. It's the Russians. The Russians have always been seen as an enemy towards the United States and towards the Western powers. They've never ever liked the Russians. And with these latest sanctions, Joe Biden came on and said that he will put economic sanctions against Russia, and it will be ongoing for many years. Great Britain has said the same thing too, and many of the other European nations. So Russia will be going through a lot of hardship, a lot of turmoil. They're basically going to get crippled at their knees. So now they're going to look very powerful. They're going to look strong. They're going to take Ukraine. They're going to go in there with their mighty power and so forth. But the sanctions are going to be so severe, it's going to cripple them at their knees. Eventually, it's going to take a long time, but eventually it's going to cripple them. And so now they're going to be very dependent on some of the neighbors. And the only secret undercover dependence it's going to get, it's definitely going to get it from, Bashar al-Assad, Syria, and I believe that the Muslim nations will slowly start to help Russia. And as a favor, as in you scratched my back, I scratched your back, Russia will then join the Muslims, because it's going to have no other hope left, because the Muslims are going to continue to trade with Russia secretly, and Russia is going to say, well, for my own existence, so I can keep continuing, it's going to go into bed with the Muslim nations. They're going to lay in the same bed. Now, people were saying, and this is going to benefit the Muslims, because people are saying things like, well, we need to modernize as Muslim countries, we need to, go to university, and, we've got to continue, we've got to develop in technology and science. And I think that's going to be out of the equation now. We're not going to need that anymore, because not only are we going to get Russia's assistance, they're going to give us all of that knowledge that they had, whether it's more new advanced ground-to-air missiles. We know that President Erdogan, for example, has brought the S-400s from Russia. And notice there's already been deals done between Turkey and Russia. America has been really, really upset about that. America put sanctions on Turkey for going to Russia and buying their S-400s. And so we're already seeing a relationship between Turkey and Russia. And we're seeing arm deals between the two. Russia is going to do all of this because it's going to be so devastated, and that's why it's going to give all of this weaponry. We no longer have to buy it anymore from them. They're going to literally give it on to us as long as we defend Russia and Russia defends the Muslims. And so when Imam Mahdi arrives, when the Dajjal comes and the Muslims need to fight the Dajjal, who will be on the western side, Imam Mahdi will be supported by a party of Rum. And so this is, Allah says the unbelievers plot and plan. And for so many years we've been ridiculed. We're so behind Islamically. We're so, we're not advanced enough. We don't have technology. We don't have weapons. We don't have this. We don't have that. When Allah has literally got all of that ready in the storage department, in the Russian bunkers, all our weapons are sitting there. And it will literally be given to us. And Rum is going to join the Muslims. And so the Muslims will do a joint operation with Rum, a party of Rum. They're gonna fight the Russians. So let's go back to the hadith. The hadith says, the truce and joint Roman-Muslim campaign against the common enemy. So this first line, the truce and joint Roman. So read it more like this. It will be the truce and joint Russian and Muslim campaign against the common enemy, followed by al-Malhama al-Kubra, which is an Armageddon, a Roman versus Muslim war. So there's two parts here. The Roman here is always referred to as to non-Muslims and to the West. So the first part of this hadith, the truce and joint Russian Roman Muslim campaign against a common enemy, which should be America, France, Great Britain, Australia, New Zealand, and so forth, followed by Al-Malhama Al-Kubra, an Armageddon, a Roman versus Muslim war. So yes, it does say a Roman versus Muslim war, but a group of the Romans, a group of the Westerners here, when we talk about Rome in the Hadith, it's talking about the West. A group of the Westerners will join the Muslims against a common enemy. So yeah, that's literally now coming to event before our eyes.